Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
what addiction is the hardest to quit? Cocaine was hard, booze was harder, cancer sticks were the hardest. Took me 2 solid years of trying to quit. I'd go 2 to 3 days then have a whole pack. I finally waited until I got the flu really bad and haven't smoked on cigarette in 2,256 days. According to my app, that's 31,578 cigarettes not smoked and over $200 not spent. The last pack I purchased was over $17.50 here in California. My father-in-law is 85 and quit smoking over 40 years ago. He says he'll still occasionally reach for a non-existent pack in his shirt pocket when he has certain triggers, like sitting on the front porch after dinner. My stepdad used to smoke one before starting work on a car, and quit in the early 1950s. Ever since, when he's contemplating what work to do on a car, I'd see him pawing at the chest pocket of his coveralls, looking for a pack that hasn't been there for decades. A woman I know is a gorgeous, health nut and not at all a smoker. She smoked in her 20s for only a few years and is now in her early 50s but looks 30 due to her lifelong healthy lifestyle, notwithstanding a couple years of smoking in her youth. She says she still to this day often gets the urge to smoke even though she thinks it's disgusting. She even dreams that she is smoking. She says all she has to do is wait 10 seconds and the urge passes, but that is a powerful addiction. Agreed. I quit alcohol, cocaine, crack, Adderall, weed, and cigarettes 6 years ago. The only thing I still crave is cigarettes. I am constantly quitting and relapsing. It's always hard but eventually it kinda goes away. Takes a horrific hell day for me to be like OxyContin, I need OxyContin. But just smelling a cigarette outside gets my ears perked up and I haven't smoked for damn near 6 years. Short-form content like YouTube Shorts and Reels are my new issue. One moment you're watching a handful of them, next thing you know you haven't moved in 48 minutes and it's dark outside. It really is hypnotism. Procrastination. The rush of leaving everything to the last minute is weirdly addictive. I've tried everything from planners to therapy, but my brain still loves that last-minute panic. For me it's not even about that. It's more, well, I didn't do it last time, I should have, and nothing bad happened, so I am scared of the day something bad actually happens. Face with peeking eye. Heroin. Even decades-recovered heroin addicts still admit they think about the high with some frequency. It's the ultimate dump of all the happy chemicals at once. You could be soaking wet in the freezing cold, but as soon as those chemicals hit you may as well be a billionaire on a tropical beach being hugged by a warm blanket and a feeling of bliss you'll probably never reach naturally. It's literally life's happy button, but pressing it means you suffer twice as much as you enjoy it. The highs are super high but the lows are the pits of hell. This animation, for me, summed up opiate addiction in a way that was both simple and profound. It's short and really worth a watch. https://youtube.be/hungelggr.po ? C = hkadme 7mbw2l-core. Fentanyl was. I was hooked to heroin for years and transitioned to fentanyl because it was more bang for my buck. It cost way more but I needed so little that it would last. I got in trouble and then needed to get clean, but when I started to get clean my first few weeks I prayed for death. I lost 25 pounds in 9 days and laid there praying for it all to be over. I wasn't even able to stand upright for almost a month without passing out. It was so bad. I am happy to say that I am 611 days sober and haven't looked back. It took a lot of encouragement, resources and prayer to make it this far. I prayed for a new life for years and I finally have one. Yay, 11 years clean from opiates and benzos here. It only gets better. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. Every day is better than the last. It took a couple years for my brain to recover, no joke. But I am naturally happy and giddy every day. I embrace the silliness in life every single day. I'm proud of you. Stay strong and don't ever forget to congratulate yourself for getting clean. Yay. Emotional eating. Been struggling with it since I was 12. The worst part is you can't just quit food cold turkey like other addictions. Since I've started taking a low-dose GLP-1, I don't emotionally eat. It's amazing. Yes. I emotionally ate and struggled with it my whole life, and the day I took the first shot it just stopped. No more McDonald's cravings, no more binging Taco Bell in the car, just eat normal. I couldn't believe how well it worked. And then I lost 65 pounds. Overthinking. There's no hotline for it, and your brain is both the dealer and the customer. And the stress causes so many other health problems. That's me. I frequently resort to the worst case scenario for what are everyday events to a normal person. It's led to hypertension among other issues. Apparently I'm a perfect candidate for meds, but because of a previous medical condition those are off the table. I'm getting a little better, but it doesn't take much to set it off again. Food. You can't go cold turkey. And it's such a huge part of our shared culture and the way we interact with other people that trying to eat healthier can mean you lose friends. Did you say cold turkey? With pillowy mounds of mashed potatoes. Quitting smoking was probably the hardest thing I ever did in my life. And I tried many times before I finally succeeded, but I haven't had a cigarette in 25 years now, and I smoked for 25 years. Quitting smoking is pretty easy. I did it hundreds of times. Sugar. 3/4 of America agrees with me. I've done drugs, I've drank alcohol to excess, I take the addictive ADHD medications. I can walk away from all of it without much difficulty, but sugar is something else. I quit smoking and my vape, which took some willpower, but I'm done with that and I don't get cravings. Sugar though, I can't stop, I get withdrawals and I fiend for anything sweet. It's the most difficult substance for me to quit. All the others I can find something I don't like about it and zone in on that feeling, and eventually I won't care about it anymore. Sugar I fucking love. I love soda. Soda is what gets me going back every single time. I've kicked it before, but it's hard when you live with people who keep bringing it into the house. In laboratory models using rats who were given cocaine and sugar as rewards, when given the option of choosing sugar or cocaine, they always chose sugar. People don't understand how addictive sugar really is. Whenever someone says it's not an addiction, I just laugh in their face. Most the country wouldn't be fat as fuck if it weren't. Porn. Lust for me. It's the same for me. Broke my streak yesterday, and I was going decent. It used to be 3 times a day. I don't blame anybody. I just got access to stuff when I was about 9 years old that I really shouldn't have had access to. By the time anybody thought about restricting access in any way, I was a 14-year-old kid with a habit that was already 5 years old. It's hard to kick when it's been a natural part of your life for so long. I don't see many people mention the habit that it forms from young adolescence. It's new and exciting and feels amazing the whole time and ends up more amazing. It gets normalized to view every time you gotta jerk off, and this can become a problem if not kept on check. Everything is a habit until it affects those around you, then it's an addiction, right? This one is so difficult because we combine something healthy with something unhealthy. I can have a streak for a little while, but it's tough when your brain always remembers you can get a big dopamine rush on demand when you're bored or whatever. The crazy thing is that a legit wank when you really need one, organically and without much assistance, is always a 10 out of 10 better experience than overloading yourself with more and more porn. There's like a natural healthy process that our society just found a terrible bypass for. I work with sex offenders, a lot of whom consume CP. The standard trajectory is that they start out with normal porn but end up feeling addicted. After a while, they want a better high, and they seek out more and more deviant porn categories. They'll go to stepmoms, sisters, more rough stuff, etc., just stuff that's not so vanilla, and eventually, the most forbidden fruit of them all. I have pages on pages of data about this, and would be more than happy to send it to you. My sincerest recommendation, before you end up on a list somewhere, is to reach out for help. Sex and Love Anonymous is a great resource, or find a therapist, but please don't go down this road. We do a test on clients, called ABLE-VRT, that tests attraction by age group. Nearly none are attracted to children, they were just chasing a high. We do a test on clients, called ABLE-VRT, that tests attraction by age group. Nearly none are attracted to children, they were just chasing a high. Well Jesus, that's chilling. Do you mean that our societal pedophile problem is less an ingrained people are attracted to kids problem and more of a chasing an addiction high that happens to lead to kids problem? Wow. This is kind of information that nobody asked for, and I don't need any response, but if anyone is reading this quietly and struggling, never give up. I, 35F, started smoking at 16, heavily drinking shortly after, abusive 7-year naive relationship with a guy 20 years older than me. I was a coke addict for 10 years, and also meth and regular, took anything to escape, tranquilizers, ketamine, acid, ecstasy, etc. I was addicted also to lying, thinking I was protecting myself. I became addicted to sex to punish myself. I was also anorexic to boot, my body is frail as a feather. Many more things happened that are just too much to mention. Most of my life was rough behind closed doors. When I really thought I was at my end, and felt ready to give up, I gave it one last try, for the 1000th time. Never give up. That last time I was able to break myself free. Not all at once, but trying to survive and choosing to give that one final push gave me the strength I didn't know I had. Fast forward, I'm now happy, healthy, fully independent. I've dealt with my trauma in so many ways. Therapy is amazing. It feels embarrassing at first, which is normal, but it will soothe your soul like a hug from the person who loved you the most and left it all behind. I'm married to someone I can't even believe is real. He's such a beautiful person, and I'm carrying our first baby, almost there. I know what it feels like to stare at blank walls while days, weeks pass by. I know what it feels like to relapse. I know how it feels to reject people who try to help you, and also how lonely it all feels. There's hope. Never give up. Never let that voice win. I believe in you, so try to believe in yourself. There will never be another you. Smiling face with hearts. Eating disorders. You have to deal with your substance for the rest of your life. This is the one. And you can't just quit food because it's essential to life. It's so hard.